Putting aside what some detractors could say, Dragon Ball has many good characters when it comes about writing. Not necessarily perfect, but still very cool, like Vegeta, Future Trunks, Bardock, Piccolo, and obviously Gohan's between them. Being a so beloved character in the fandom that many fans have wondered about him taking the torch as the new protagonist of the story, especially if we are counting the Dragon Ball Z version of him, especially since the Saiyan saga until the Cell one, cause in these days Gohan must be one of the most dividing characters according to the phrase we are treating. And today, here I come to speak of the most polemic one, Dragon Ball Super Gohan. So, let's begin. In first place, let's make a little recap about Gohan. The character was born with a very interesting irony, because he had a greater fight potential than Goku, but he lacked of the mind to use all this power and make it grow at all. Being why there was always a pattern, where Gohan was willing to train and fight, but only because he felt responsible about it, not because he wanted to feel the fight like Goku and Vegeta. So, after the Cell tournament and seeing that, in theory, there were no more threats like him, Gohan quit being a Sea Warrior. After all, there was peace in the world. And then we had Majin Buu, and everything got fucked up. As such, the development of his character was pretty good here and very solid. Some could say that him being a student was only to please Chi-Chi, but personally, I don't think so. After all, Gohan here was an adult, and since he was a kid, he had moments when he did things against what his mom would have wanted for him. So, although we could say that she had some influence, the final decision of becoming an investigator was Gohan's, not because he felt pressure. But given that this is a shonen, of course this was going to backfire, since he was having trouble not with Buu, no, with Dabura. Gohan here showed why he was not ready to return to the ring, making silly mistakes and even falling back to only increase his power and attack with no tactic. Actually, when he tried to use one of Goku's tricks twice, the first time he almost hurt himself, and the second one he only embarrassed himself. In the end, Buu Saga was the less relevant for Gohan, functioning as much for some little details in Super, and that's all, which is where we're going right now. Here Gohan's 100% involved with being a student. So much that he changed a lot. I mean, if you see this Gohan and then this Gohan, you'll feel very surprised. More or less like Future Trunks in the anime. And that's why I'm gonna mention the first good thing about Gohan's growth here. And that's after the fight against Golden Frieza, where Gohan understood that he cannot always count on Goku and Vegeta being there to save the Earth. So he had to ask Piccolo to train him again so he could be ready for the next fight. This, on the anime, is very contradictory later, but in the manga this is treated a little better, given that here Gohan was training sometimes, maybe not as much as in the C era, but hey, it's something. Now, given that Super has like two canons, being the anime and the mangas, we're going to follow them since the next two sagas just before we reach the arcs of Moro and Superhero. Beginning with the Black Saga, actually in the manga Gohan's almost a ghost. Trunks leaves, and if I'm not mistaken, there's no farewell between they both, which, knowing that he was not present on the Battle Theater, makes him too invisible for such an important character in Trunks' life. Cause no, doesn't matter if this Gohan's not the one he grew up with. He's still the kid who defeated Cell and helped him to complete the purpose of his travel, putting aside their obvious friendship around the whole saga. While in the anime, I have to say that even if Gohan didn't fight, I really liked his scenes here, being more a reminder for Trunks of how his actions gave his master a good future in this timeline, just as it also evokes some sadness, making him wonder of how it would have been for him, Mai, and Bulma if Black didn't appear. And of course, his goodbye is a very simple detail, but also an effective one. This, even if starts to contradict the idea of Gohan training again as before with Piccolo since Golden Frieza saga, at least lets Trunks' character grow more, and works pretty well as part of the emotional core of the story. Did I just say something where the anime is better than the manga? In Black's arc? Yep, I did. Anyway, I don't think anyone could be in disagree with something so obvious. And here is when we get to the tipping point of the video, cause still here, my take about Gohan in Dragon Ball Super would be about a character with very few moments, but some of them being very decent and interesting, especially in the anime. But with the Tournament of Power, we start with the 50-50 for me. Cause I don't like at all the intentions with Gohan in this saga, specifically during the fight against Kefla, which shows why his development on Super was just a bluff and a living contradiction, and affects itself. And yeah, I talk about that phrase where Gohan says that he's no longer going to use the Super Saiyan, not because the ultimate phase was better, not even because he didn't want to waste energy on the tournament, but because he's supposedly not going to depend on his Saiyan blood, cause you know, that's the way genetic works. Whenever you want, you can choose to use your dad's genes or your mother's. Just switch up and switch on. 2 plus 2 equals 5. That easy. And let's see. The first issue with all this is that basically Gohan has no way to stand up for this phrase, even if he no longer uses the Super Saiyan. Essentially because his definitive state is powerful because he's a half Saiyan. If he was 100% human, he wouldn't be stronger than Ten Shin Han. Therefore, even if he doesn't even use more than his base form, it wouldn't be valid because he's still a hybrid. And I know someone's going to tell me that Gohan said it metaphorically, but this is too much specific and literal to be just that. And wait a moment, cause this will get worse as we keep going. But before that, I want to mention a very good Gohan's moment, and that's all the sequence of him and Piccolo protecting the Earth from Moro and his army. Here, Gohan really managed to give this sense of relief when he's present, something that we didn't see since Boo's saga. And obviously, I give an honorific mention to when Goku apologizes with Gohan after seeing him injured for fighting again. And I know this is more a Goku's moment, but I really like to see this little father and son moment. And now, let's get into the other big issue for Gohan in Super, which is directly the worst transformation in the whole history of Dragon Ball, and I will not debate it. The Beast Mode. Putting aside how stupid is to see that only because of this now he's a match for states thousands of times stronger than his ultimate state, the Beast Mode is what finishes making all the intentions of giving Gohan his own path a complete lie, given that this represents the whole opposite. The first trouble here is about his design, saying that since the visuals this just follows the same design logic as all the faces of a Super Saiyan, just change the hair color and the eyes color and that's all. Could sound like a minor detail, but it's not, because if the transformation that was supposed to give Gohan the spotlight again is only a mere visual copy of the Super Saiyan 2, we can see how this invalidates itself. And that's not all. The other issue here is how you get it. Gohan awakened by his own rage, and this was only possible because he's a freaking Saiyan, and they always increase their power by getting angry. Ergo, it doesn't matter how much they try to sell it as an evolution of Ultimate Gohan, cause for me, it's only a Super Saiyan of that state. Everything about this Gohan here has become confusing, and that's a shame, cause if we're going to get something like that, I'd rather that they just kept him as an occasional character. I mean, it's okay for me if they want to give him again a spot on the top, but not like this, not so rushed and indecisive. Personally, even though I enjoy Super and reading again the Moro saga for the making of this video was really fun because that's an amazing saga, these kind of things are the ones that make me understand a little its detractors. Very ironic because I rarely see them talk about these specific issues, but yeah, I understand a little. And what would I do? Well, in first place, I changed that phrase on the tournament for one where Gohan would speak about how he no longer needs the Super Saiyan because thanks to the others and his own efforts, he found another way. This would be enough because it doesn't deny his Saiyan blood, but only explains how he has another way to use his power as one of them. And with this, the Beast Mode wouldn't be a contradiction. Still would be a very big disaster, but only because it appears from freaking nowhere, and not for being against Gohan's development. And I didn't even mention how in the movie they reset his whole growth one more time, because he once again thinks that there's no need for training given that Goku and Vegeta will always be there to save the day. Which, knowing that this this is chronologically after Moro Saga, where Gohan and Piccolo were thinking about how much Goku's now ahead of them and very stronger than everyone in the Earth, and how they actually couldn't protect their planet, makes this Gohan look more out of character. And even if it's true that Toyotaro has been trying to make some fixes in the manga to make it look better, it's still not enough. I know this can sound exaggerated to be paying so much attention into one phrase, but it's because this is that great for Gohan, a character that, with all what they did to him, only makes me feel less and less and less interested. But anyway, this is all from my side. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe and give your like. And if you're subscribed already, you can use another account. Please let me know in the comments what do you think about this. Are you agree with me, disagree? Whatever you think, please let it below. And now this is all from me today, and I'll see you later.